Before he was Vybz Kartel, he was Adi Banton. But that name belonged to someone else's identity. The moment he decided to change his name to Vybz Kartel, it was more than just changing his name. He was creating a brand. He started his early career by entering sound clashes. A lot of people saw these as just lyrical battles, but I see them as guerrilla marketing. Imagine launching a company without ever paying for advertising, and then every week your competitors show up to voluntarily help to promote you. Every clash generated conversation. Every clash built his credibility. Then in 2003, up to the time officially introduced the product, Vybz Kartel expanded his market. This is where he actually separated himself from the others, because most artists would stay in their lane, but Vybz Kartel dared not to. He realized something that most business discover. The streets made him famous, but women made him bigger. Soon after, his catalog expanded. Instead of doing only aggressive dancehall songs, Kartel started doing music that resonated and spoke to fashion, lifestyle. Notice something, he didn't lose the street, he added everyone else. And that is called segmentation. That's market expansion, and that's also exactly what Netflix did when they moved away from only offering licensed movies. But Vybz Kartel didn't just release songs, he actually sold culture, and this I think was one of his greatest marketing moves. Most artists released music, Kartel released moments. When summer came, most people expected a Vybz Kartel anthem, not because anyone told them to, but because he conditioned the market. All these songs released different years, different albums, same emotional mark. And that is bigger than having a hit record. In business, they call this owning an occasion. Just like Starbucks owns fall, Coca-Cola owns Christmas, Kartel owned summer. Now let's talk about Clarks. This wasn't just a hit song. This became one of the greatest examples of unpaid marketing. Clarks never needed a campaign. The culture became the campaign. People started buying the shoes because Clarks became a part of the identity that the song celebrated. That's one song influencing an entire category, and that is called cultural marketing. Businesses spend millions trying to manufacture that type of relevance, and Vybz Kartel was able to do that with music. Vybz Kartel didn't just build an audience, he built a tribe. Think about the Gully versus Gaza era. People remember the rivalry, but marketers remember something else: tribal bonding. Kartel helped to create one of the strongest fan identities in dancehall, and that's the reason why the brand has lasted. People weren't just listening to music anymore, they picked a side. Think about it, this happens with other brands. Nike versus Adidas, Android versus Apple, Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. Those aren't just competitors, they're communities. And then came prison. Normally when a founder disappears, the brand disappears too. But Vybz Kartel didn't. Music continued, the conversation continued, fans stayed engaged, the mythology grew. And that's because the music had become bigger than the individual. And as entrepreneurs, that's the goal. Build system, build intellectual property, build a community. So your brand doesn't depend entirely on your physical presence. When Kartel walked free, he didn't just quietly release a single, he launched an event. Freedom Street wasn't just a concert, it was a relaunch campaign. Since then, we've seen Grammy nomination, Billboard chart success, collaboration with Travis Scott, collaboration with Tyla, and the list goes on and on to international partnerships. Every move says the same thing. This isn't just dancehall anymore, this is a global brand. Biggest lesson from Vybz Kartel isn't about knowing how to write a hit song. It is about knowing when your market is changing and evolving before everyone else does. And that's why some artists become legends and why some businesses disappear. Now drop a comment down below and let me know what you think Vybz Kartel should do next.